I am going to be doing a first impression of these Yoobi double-ended markers. Now, I saw these in the store, and looking at the package, I saw the little like tip here, and I thought, oh, but there's two tips. I wonder what the other tip is, because I couldn't figure it out. Only noticing just now that it says one end is a brush tip, but I didn't realize that. So I was looking, and I saw some that turned, and I was like, that looks like a brush tip. So what the hell, man? $8.99 for 8 brush tip markers at Target? Like, really? Yoobi, they sell like brightly colored school supplies in Target. You buy, Yoobi gives. These markers donate one item to a U.S. classroom in need. I haven't looked too deep into it, and I don't know if they sell Yoobi anywhere besides Target, but that's where I've always seen them. So I thought, well, these are somewhat accessible brush pens. So in my quest to find accessible brush pens, so I can have something to recommend, I figured, why the hell not? 8 colors, basically bright rainbow looking situations, and then you have the one side, you have a brush pen, which kind of looks similar to a Tombow, maybe a little bit smaller. And I actually grabbed some Tombos to test them out together. So if you look at that, you can see kind of the difference in the size of the tip. It's slightly different, but they look similar. And I will say that, whoa, the artwork on the sides look very similar to each other, which is kind of trippy. The Yoobi ones feel a little bit more matte though, like the actual packaging feels a little bit more matte and kind of that like matte versus like glossy surface. I don't know. And then the other side has, ooh, kind of like a ultrafine Sharpie or a ultrafine flare pen is kind of what those look like to me. So I'm gonna test these out. But I also grabbed just looking at the caps, what seem to be similar Tombow colors, just so I can kind of test them against each other and see if the colors have any similarity to them. But I also am curious to see how these write. So I think first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna test out and see how this brush pen feels. Disclaimer, I have a very heavy hand, so bear that in mind. All of my first impressions of these pens have to do with how much of the iron fist I like to put down. Well, I will tell you, oops, I'm waking my hand up here, but I will say, I like the firmness of this. Oh, what the fuck? I pushed the nib in. That's not working. That's some fucking. I wonder if these are janky or if this is kind of how they are. I don't know. Okay, well, try the pink out. Like, I like how firm this is, because it can handle my heavy downstroke fairly well. Feels very similar, like just slightly smaller than a Tombow. So here's like the difference in, oh, that's not the same color at all. But you can see the difference. A full press down for Tombow looks like that. And a full press down for this pink pen, the Yoobi, looks like that. I think this pink will work better. So I'm gonna test out colors and see which color, like how, in terms of vibrancy and whatever. We'll see if there's anything like obvious here, just out of curiosity. And it reminds me just how like, okay, now that, they're very similar reds, but yeah, you can see the Tombow is much inkier than the Yoobi, and it presses down a little less bigger, but it's a smaller nib. So, has a very similar feel though. So, here's the pink. Let's see if this pink is a better choice. There's the Yoobi. Oops, I was doing these in the wrong order. And here's the Tombow. Closer, but once again, the Tombows seem to be a little bit more saturated with color. Check out orange. That's very similar. The oranges seem very similar to each other in terms of not just the color, but the saturation. And here's yellow. Oh, that yellow is beautiful. Yeah, Tombow, you go, Tombow. That one's actually really pretty too. So these colors, aside from the red and the pink so far, of course I could be jinxing it right now. Here's green, like the lighter green that they offered here. And here's the lighter green. Well, it's not as light, but it is saturated. And then we got a darker kind of a tealy green almost, maybe. Yeah. Aside from the red, I think the red might have been the dud. The red was the one that the nib kind of busted through too. So maybe that's part of it. These colors aren't perfect, but you can notice while doing this that aside from the red, oh, that purple is hefty. Aside from the red, these colors for the Yoobi seem to be about as saturated. So that's pretty awesome. The other tips are not the same as the Tombow, so I'm not even compare them, but let's see. Oh, yeah, so that's a cute little tip size. Yeah, tips. Okay, so I am gonna test out the various colors just on their own and do a little bit more writing with each of these to really give these pens a workout. God, I hope that this red does not get, the tip doesn't get sucked back in. Okay. God damn it. That might be why the red did not look so saturated, because it looked a lot more saturated. The paper towel must have pulled some of the ink off. Pressing down on this, so that's not going anywhere, so that's good to know. God damn it, this one did it too. Oh my God. See the same test. Yeah, when you push it back in with like a paper towel, it sucks the ink right out of it. Like these little bullet nibs don't have as much vibrancy to them as the brush nibs do, which is understandable. Okay, let's try pink out. Fuck. What if I could just keep going? No, because if I go, that is so weak sauce. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't like the consistency of the ink coming out of these bullet nibs. So far, like if you can see, I don't know if you can see very well on camera, but if you look at the way it like globs, rather than being even, it's very uneven. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. Let's try yellow. Here we go. Fingers crossed. Nope, there it goes. This may not be a problem for you if you are light-handed, I don't think. Maybe it's my heavy-handedness. No, you know what? That's not fair. That's not fair to just say that because I'm heavy-handed, I can't make these pens work and they keep I can't even get through one letter. And it's like they work, but then they don't have, like you get it pulled back out again. Yeah, pulling it out. But then the saturation is down because you've rubbed the ink off on the frickin', I'm pulling it out, rubbing it off. This is a sexual conversation. But not gonna lie, I'm not feeling very sexual. I'm feeling kind of irritated actually. So here's a blue. Here we go, here we go. Can I get one letter done? It was starting to go in and then I just pressed it right back in. Oh my God. Like look at this paper towel. All the ink from my markers is on the paper towel. Well, I can't even get this one out. Oh my God, reach. And see, there you go, no saturation left. This is some bullshit is what this is. Oh my God. Party wants to go spend another $8.99 and see if maybe I just got a dud. Because part of me wondered if I got a dud for the Sharpie brush pens because they seem so dried out. Oh, there it goes. I can't even, I'm like too scared to write in regular brush lettering because every time I do, I lose the frickin' pen. I feel like I've gotten duds before, like in other sets of markers that I've looked at on my channel and gotten called out for having a dud. But part of me doesn't even want to waste the money. Like this is a lesson to companies that put out duds that sometimes people just don't want to go back and spend their money testing to see if they got a shitty one. I mean, I could return this. I'm so like worried about everything. This is like the sloppiest brush lettering ever. Well, that worked. Let's see if I can press it in. Let's just test this. Here we go. Yep, pressed it right in. I mean, I guess, can you do that? I don't really want to, I think I have some extra Tombows. Before I got the big pack for Christmas, I had bought like a naturals pack or something. Just curious to see if I can do the same thing with this Tombow. No, I can't do that. It doesn't work like that. Okay, good to know that that's not just a, hey, that blue actually matches. Good to know that it's not just a brush pen thing that I've just thus far been able to avoid. Oh my God, I can't get it out. I am like covered in fucking ink, like everywhere now. All right, that's as far as I'm going with this experiment because I'm starting to get pissed off. All right, so what do I think? What do I think about these Yoobis? Well, I think that the color saturation as compared to Tombows and the hardness of the nib make them, in that sense, a comparable option to someone who maybe it's a little bit less expensive than Tombows and a little bit more accessible than Tombows. That being said, despite the fact that the colors are beautiful, despite the fact that the nib is like my perfect kind of hardness, dude, like, I don't know, maybe I should get someone else who has a lighter hand to test these out, but that's fucking obnoxious. When I can't even get through most of a word because it pushes into the pen, like, there is a design flaw with that pen. So I haven't decided if I'm going to go buy another set of these to test them out. If you've used these before and you've had the same problem, will you please let me know in the comments so I know whether or not I got a shitty pack or not. I have not decided yet if I'm going to attempt another round of this or not, but I guess we'll see, right? If there's other pens you want me to try that I haven't tried out, you can let me know about that in the comments too. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.